Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an emergency episode of the Download Queue, episode 106. We're on Friday again live. We're going to do Friday either way because I have life outside of here. Had other things planned.
What?
It has shocking. North
You don't
Dakota,
just
you know?
sit around and wait to talk to me?
No.
I have stuff to do, definitely.
You have a baby.
My whole daughter. She's like 2.5. She ain't a baby no more.
I know. We had
When
things
I'll cradle her like this and she'll go, baby, baby. And she'll, it's funny.
still there.
Speaking, can I derail everything real quick?
Do it. Oh, God.
Look at the My Mario set. Fucking A.
Oh, it's too close.
With
Oh,
your
you got stuff.
broadcast. We did. So Nintendo has their My Mario line. Bunch of toddler and kids stuff. As you can see, nothing's in there because my daughter won't let me take them to show you guys. But this is all the little figures, the little people. She really loves playing with these. These are adorable. But yeah, we got the whole Mario set here. I thought they were only at the store. They're not. My wife found them at a Walmart today.
The little
So we got
people
that
stuff is,
set.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got that right there. And then we also got the Big Bowser ship set. So some fun before we talk about some nasties. But look at this fun little thing. We got 2 Bowsers, so I get one. My daughter can't steal it. But yeah, nice little fun stuff from Nintendo. I thought it was only at the store, but no,
Can I ask?
everywhere.
Because I saw the stuff come out. I thought kind of funny talking about it. And immediately I was like, this is what's going to screw me when I decide to have a child finally.
Dude, yeah, when they were
How much is
shout
this
out
stuff running?
for this stuff was like normal, same price as this. So I don't know
Okay.
how much this one, the little people set was. My wife did say the ship was a 25, 24 or something. So a normal price for those kits.
So they don't have like the
have,
Nintendo premium pricing on that.
Not on those, which is appreciated at least.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But I know like they have the block set, which I didn't know about, but those are amiibos as well. I don't know how much those are, but they didn't have that at Walmart, just these ones here. So just thought, I was like, sick. That's so cool that we got those today, because I showed her yesterday and was like, we got to plan a trip to San Francisco. Just, we love that area. But also to go to the Nintendo store and get some stuff. So happy we got them here. They're so cute too. I wish I could steal them from her so y'all can see, but they're really well made. They're same quality as the other little people stuff, but it is Mario, and that's really cool. $20 for characters and $25 for the ship. Hannah.
Nice. Coming in with the deets. I will say, when you guys do make it to San Francisco for the Nintendo store, give me a heads up. I'll send you some money.
100%.
Goddamn. I might have told it
100%,
here. I did, it was like 8th grade, I think. We did like a school trip to New York. And the whole time I was like, I just want to go to the Nintendo store. Little weird kid on the side of the group that didn't care. And then finally one of the days my teacher was like, hey, we got like a tour person that will take you to the Nintendo store because we'll be in the area, because it's like right by like Today Show filming and stuff. I was like, hell yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah.
We get there, and it was the day Animal Crossing New Leaf came out on 3DS, so there was a line
You did tell this story.
blocks away that I could not get in. I just looked at it from a distance. I was like, God damn it. Where do you guys go?
Yeah,
I'm in. I want stuff.
you're right. I love it. Yeah, no, 100%. You gotta do that stuff. Yeah, we went to New York for our honeymoon. I kept saying engagement. I'm like, that's not what it is. It's the opposite. Our honeymoon. And like, I just didn't understand or realize that about the Nintendo store. I wish we would have known. We would have stopped by. That was 4 or 5. Jesus. Too many years ago now. At this point, time flies. But
Yeah, it's
I
like
haven't
right in the
been to
middle of
one, so-
everything, like just on the corner there. Like
Yeah,
I'm at work and like
I-
Today Show's on. I'm like, oh, it's right around the corner over there. Like right down the little walkway where they're filming.
Yeah, no, just we didn't happen to walk by it. So if we did, we would have stopped, of course. But either way, happy to have got this. Excited to go eventually see the thing, because Nintendo, like, my daughter has not played a Mario game. She's watched us play Mario Kart. I think I tried it once, but it was like she was 1.5. It was too much. But now, like, I'm excited to try it. But she hasn't played the games, but she's attached to these little guys. You know, she's attached. She sees Mario. She's like, that's Mario. That's Toad. It's just, dude, the design of them. I'm starting to see how designs really help things last, like Pokemon and Mario, for example. Like, those things are iconic and they last because they are good designs at the core and capture something. And like even my daughter who doesn't know what it's from is just like, hell yeah, I love that thing. I see it on the Switch. I love it. I'm like, that's crazy. In the store. Oh my God, Bluey. Oh my God, Mario. It's like, we're not watching, ingesting those things a lot. It's just strong design.
Well, it's nice because it's like our generation's thing that like we grew up with. Pokemon 30-year anniversary next week. Like it's not like
dude,
you grew up and saw your parents' stuff, but now it's the reverse where you get to share things that you grew up with next generation. Like that's
yeah. And see, my parents didn't do this stuff. This is all me, you know. So I'm just all new to me. This side as well.
Perfect.
Real quick, new Mario games coming on too. $20 each. I don't care. I'm excited to start introducing Pokemon to my daughter in that way. You know, that's something that's really cool and exciting.
Oh, things messed up. We're getting into the meat of things here. Discord sucks, Kyle. You have changed people. I am so sorry.
I'm Brian.
You are Brian.
I am sorry. I in my head I had the Helldivers music playing as I'm like rushing in.
It's an amazing entrance song though.
I mean, it's epic, 100%.
Yeah, we gotta cue that up so when we add guests, they enter always to that music.
Everybody's their like WWE entrance.
It's like, oh shit, who's coming?
Royal Rumble on this podcast.
Yeah. But
Royal Rumble
I
podcast is an interesting idea.
Royal Rumble podcast.
There you go.
We're like, who's gonna show up next?
I may just dip out and I'm running the show. No one's here.
Self-eliminate.
Yes, Brian joining us live. We haven't gotten into the meat of anything.
Yes.
You haven't missed anything. We were talking about the new Mario baby stuff that Kyle picked up.
Oh yeah. Ooh, you got some of the stuff?
You got the little people.
Oh, little Fisher Price guys.
Yeah, I just got the Fisher Price guys and then the Bowser chip set, which is really cool. It's going to be blurry all and whatnot, but I closed the software.
Now,
sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it those or is it the block ones that are also amiibos?
The block ones. These are just the standard Fisher Price little people set that they toy line that they do.
Because I heard that and I was just like, that's so weird for them to do for like a baby line. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a gift for like the parents. We're gonna play.
I saw people being like, imagine
for,
showing up to like a Smash Bros tournament and getting your ass kicked by a wooden block baby toy amiibo that just grinded out max stats for Smash. Like, how embarrassing.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, but they're really cool. So happy my wife found them today.
I was trying to find the blocks. I think I saw the blocks were like 150, 170 for them. Which like again, wild, but like amiibo pricing in there, and there's like 30 in the set. I'm like, I could see.
Yeah, it's definitely like a baby thing, and then you age out pretty quickly from that stuff. So I kind of get why they did it. It makes some sense, you know. It's
a good introduction. Like, get the kid in like, hey, your toy you've had could be your new toy now as you get video games.
That too, yeah.
A very easy transition.
Yeah. Some good news, some nice positive stuff here.
As mentioned at the top, we were going to run a regular episode tonight about other stuff going on in the industry. And then today, during my lunch, when my phone was charging, Kyle had the audacity to drop some devastating news in the Discord chat, ruining my mood for the day, straight from Xbox in an email and letter sent out from Satya himself, everyone's favorite. Phil Spencer is out as head of Xbox. Sarah Bond also resigned from her position, replaced by Asha Sharma as new EVP and CEO, with Matt Booty also getting a nice bump up in raise and promotion there for what seems like an every 6-month thing for that guy. I don't know where he keeps falling in or if he's just kissing the boot that much, but man's right place, right time every time something happens. Phil has been at Microsoft since June 1988. Famously took over for head of Xbox, all that stuff after the launch of Xbox One and getting the brand through that crisis of always online DRM, TV, all the usual stuff people talk about, rebuilding brought everyone back into the fold, grew the business exponentially with the acquisitions of Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, King, many things, has been the face. Sarah Bond, more recent to the team, but very publicly was being grown to be Phil's eventual replacement, which makes the news of her passing very shocking. I got some things to kind of steer the conversation throughout this. We all aren't just getting off topic. But with the news initially, Brian, you just joined us. What were your initial thoughts with the breaking news and as stuff has come out throughout the day?
Well, I mean, I be honest, I'm sure everybody kind of shared that same kind of feeling of being like, what's happening? Like this, like we all knew that Phil Spencer was planning his retirement. Like we all expected that he was gonna be gone at some point, probably either at the earliest, like maybe the summertime, or at the latest, the end of the year, just to kind of live out that whole 25 years of Xbox anniversary kind of push they were building up since last year. But to have him be stepping down as of this coming Monday, and then also the announcement that Sarah Bond is just done, like gone as of now. Yeah, I can't help but think that this could be the end of Xbox as a gaming platform. Well, maybe that's too like doomsday scenario kind of thinking, but definitely I am thinking that we are looking at Xbox as how Sega was after the Dreamcast came out, where it's like, okay, profits aren't where they're supposed to be, where you're not delivering what we promised and or what the higher ups want. Maybe this is the Xbox's like quiet exit out of the console market. That's how I feel.
Kyle, before going to you, I do want to, for Brian's point there, just keeps things steady. Phil will be staying, I believe in the email somewhere, through the summer, is in an advisory role with Asha to ensure a smooth transition. So
okay, that's good.
Not immediately. So he will be hanging out still to an extent. 1 foot in Cabo.
Like the grandpa that's just like hanging around. It's like, don't forget.
I'm just grinding out Destiny.
Don't forget the time to keep the servers on for over the weekend. It's like, okay, Grandpa Phil, let's go back to the office.
Kyle.
Okay, that's good.
You're the one that broke the news. What were your initial thoughts before we break into things deeper?
Call it up, man.
Oh.
Let's just get it rolling. Let's celebrate what's been. Dude, sad. This it just reeks of we're taking over as Microsoft. Even Phil saying this is Microsoft gaming. You just don't hear them talk about Xbox that much. I feel pretty bad. Something like this that comes out of nowhere feels shitty. I just don't feel really positive about this. The person taking over, unfortunately, comes from Core AI, another Microsoft thing, which isn't super embedded with AI. It's another division, a development division, correct? I got renamed. Yeah. But of course, we know Microsoft is all AI now, and that's just what this stinks of. Her calling out AI slop, like we're not going to do that, means we are going to do AI, but we're not going to do the slop version of it. And it's like, fuck off, you know? So I love Xbox. I'm down with Xbox. I'm pretty against Microsoft right now. It's really, really shitty, especially with everything they're doing. But it's not doom and gloom. This is just a reaction, right? It's just even more so they're behind the 8 ball and they have to show us how they're going to get out. You know, prove to us that we should still be celebrating the 25th anniversary. Now I am really questioning next gen, what I get. Will there be a next gen? We'll talk about that. But it's crazy how one person leaving can make you question a company's direction. Dude, but when you lose two, when you've been propping up these two as like the head and then the next, where are you going? How am I supposed to have confidence in this? So it sucks. It's crazy. It was just, I was playing Skyrim. We'll talk about that eventually for the first time. And saw the news and was like, I don't even care about this anymore. I was like, I'm like, so it's crazy. No, don't feel good about it. Taco, how are you feeling? Or go, please respond.
Well, I just wanted to kind of bounce off of what you're saying. It's like throughout the years, like Phil Spencer, like you're saying, Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond have been like the ones that you see at every presentation, every Summer Game Fest, every like Xbox Presents event has been them. I will say, on like the silver lining kind of thought process, I am still glad that Matt Booty is around and he's being put into a higher position, and to hopefully at least have somebody there that we're familiar with and that gets Xbox to really try to steer the ship as much as he can. But we're going to have to wait and see how the duo of Asha and Matt work out.
For me personally, it has been a roller coaster of emotions. Immediate gut reaction, I'm like, oh shit. Even put in Discord, I was like, I give them 5 years tops for it. Looking into it further, I started getting a lot more hopeful. But now in the past hour, I've been sitting here getting stuff ready for the podcast and stuff, having Kind of Funny Games Daily on, listening to their stuff. And it's brought me right back around
so
to doom and gloom. Like, god damn. But no, it sucks. I'm not, been talked about many times, emotional person over here. Not say I got emotional over Phil leaving, but it was kind of like a, damn, this is a not proper, but changing of the guard, and something that doesn't happen a lot for our industry that gets noticed or like you feel that much of a change. God, what? Reggie leaves Nintendo. Huge blow. Doug Bowser leaves Nintendo. We're making memes. Like, Microsoft is something I like about their brand and what I've grown up with since 360, since everyone on Xbox, was that forward-facing, hey, we're also gamers, whether we are or not up before Phil, but hey, we're on the same level. We want to approach you in a way that you don't feel like you're listening to suits talk. We want a familiar face that knows how to talk about what they are trying to push, what their goals are, where they're going, and get you on board in a casual way without it being, shit, I'm in a boardroom at work. They're making it fun. With Phil gone, that, for me, pretty much gone. I'm very curious to see what the June showcase looks like this summer when that happens.
Yeah.
Who's leading that? Is she, Dharma, going to be there leading the charge in every way, or is it going to be more dev focused? Who knows? But it's been a shock. It's been something that I'm more confused about as time's gone on today. And I don't really know what to believe, and I can only hope for the best. I can only hope that Bluepoint news yesterday is in a domino effect for a bunch of smaller Xbox studios now, because I could see that happening. But we will get into it here.
Yeah.
Sharma is previously worked at Microsoft in a marketing role, former VP of Product and Engineering at Meta, and former Instacart COO, who has also been a board member of the Home Depot, joined Microsoft again is in 2024, so it's been there just over a year, depending when that happened. So not fully new to Microsoft, but pretty much fully new to gaming, to a point where in her own email, the first goal she says, because she laid out a 3-step plan, is to understand what makes this work and protect it. Understanding the industry, how it works, which, again, back to Phil hanging out for a while, helping lead. Obvious, the way they tell it in the email, Phil said his piece back in the fall, want to retire. Was that accelerated? Who knows? But she's had a couple months now, has a couple months ahead with Phil still there on the sidelines with Booty helping. I'll be very curious to see how she adheres to everything, because it's not, from an outsider's perspective, gaming, hey, you're making games, they're on consoles, cool, Nintendo, everyone's happy. But to get in the fine details of exclusives and the marketing deals with third-party studios and studios in Japan that they've been trying to build a brand with, is that going to continue? With all these other layers of it, how easy she will be able to catch on with that, or if that's just going to be stuff that she passes on down to Booty, passes on to other people below, and she is kind of just the leader on top of the throne, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be an interesting balance to see how they really do that, because like you're saying, like she's had a lot of catching up to do. Now for a transition like this is very obvious, and I think it was brought up on the Kind of Funny Games Daily that she is a business person. She is there to do business. Now, hopefully, with Matt Booty becoming like the chief content officer, that maybe it will be like a nice divide of she handles the business aspect of Microsoft Gaming and then he handles all of the creative aspects. Now, of course, at the end of the day, whatever she says and whoever above her says goes. But it's going to be just a time will tell kind of situation where, will she, do a balancing act with Matt Booty and or the other creatives under the gaming sector of the company, or will she just be like, hey, I'm here to make the numbers go up and you aren't doing what we need out, which probably will happen. Like we are on the timer right now of days of probably waiting to see who's on the chopping block, who is not going to be towing the line as far as what is Xbox doing and what is going to be considered profitable to them.
Yeah, when I look at her email, they say everything right, but that doesn't make me feel good for some reason. I wonder how much of this is AI as well. But saying first we're going to talk about great games. I mean, that's such a, how do you pander to the gamers? Hey, we're going to build great games. Oh my God, yes. Second, the return of Xbox. What's the second thing? Like, Xbox is dying as a brand. We're going to make that better again. We're going to make Xbox great again. Oh my God, yes. Like, and then the third one is what it kind of puts the nail in the coffin in a negative way for me, is the future of play. I mean, I wanted to read specifically, so in her email saying, to meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have, iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. Like that, when you add on AI and generating your own shit, that's what that sounds like to me. We're not going to have static IP that we milk and monetize. We're going to let you do it. And that just, I might be reading into it, but that's where I was like, oh, I don't think this is as positive. I think you're just saying everything right. And then we're going to slowly see AI in everything, unfortunately. But yeah, I just feel weird about it.
And if not AI, we're probably going to see a bunch of the smaller Xbox studios become like the enhancement studios, like the people that will do the grunt work, or what at least the conversation is like, okay, well, what's going to happen to Obsidian? Like, is Obsidian just going to become a backup studio for Bethesda? Because I'm sure, like, at this point, they're probably not going to be wanting to wait X amount of years for the next Elder Scrolls, or the next X amount of years for the next Fallout game, or like, shoot, I know this is probably going to happen. I really hate it, but like Ninja Theory is probably going to be gone in a year because they just had one of their games canceled, like a game that they've been working on at least since they've announced at the same amount of time as Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 came out 2 years ago. I loved it, but it got, middling reviews. It was still up there, but it wasn't like spectacular, like not what they want or not what they need at this point. So it's going to be, will they use AI? I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm definitely going to see a lot of these studios going the way of like, okay, you guys are going to be on the Call of Duty team. Congratulations. Now go make zombies or something. I don't know. I can't help but I can't shake that feeling. Oh.
There is, I want to, since Kyle brought us into your email, before we get to there, I saw a tweet today that rephrases her position and what she's done as a positive for Microsoft, which I think is interesting to look at. This is from Akash Gupta on Twitter. Primarily speaking about her having zero gaming industry experience. Her career started in marketing at Microsoft, as I said, ran operations at Porch Group, a home service startup. And there she went to Meta, where she ran products for Facebook Messenger and scaled it to billions of users. COO of Instacart, where she took the company through its IPO and profitability. Then back to Microsoft to run product for Core AI. Resume looks random until you map it against what Xbox actually needs right now. Gaming revenue dropped 9% last quarter. Hardware sales fell 32%. Game Pass hit 34 million subscribers and then flatlined. Content and service revenue declined 5% over the holidays, with even Call of Duty underperforming. The business that Phil Spencer nearly tripled in size through the $69 billion Activision Blizzard deal is shrinking. Every role Asha has held was about taking a product that already had users and building the economic engine on top. Messenger was a platform play, Instacart was a marketplace play, Core AI was an infrastructure play. Xbox has Bethesda, Blizzard, Activision, and 40 other studios under Booty who just got promoted to Chief Content Officer, reporting to Asha. Content exists, the distribution and monetization engine needs to be built. Satya is betting that 34 million Game Pass subscribers should be 100 million, and that the person who scaled Messenger to billions and took Instacart from pre-IPO to profitable can build the growth engine that gaming lifers couldn't. Which is an interesting take, because I've seen a lot of discourse about her and I having the history and people turning that in a way of not, like we said, not understanding. But maybe it is just them, hey, you don't understand the old days of this. You don't understand the way people used to run. What do we do to get a new, fresh set of eyes in here to look at Game Pass, which is something they're still massively invested in, like huge year already for releases, tie that in with cloud gaming. How do you build that beyond the way we're used to thinking? She offers a new set of eyes.
Yeah, when you think of it as you have users active on your platform, how do we scale that up to get them more active and get that monthly active user base up? It makes a lot of sense. And I think you could probably look back at Phil Spencer and start to critique in ways of, you spend, like, how many times are you spending gaming? Like, how much time are you gaming as opposed to strictly business stuff? And he was elevated from gaming more into this role of a business. You can start to see where that might be in the way, saying, I want to care for the art only. It's like, well, there does have to be a balance, right? Maybe in hindsight, we'll see Keeper, South of Midnight, all these small art pieces, which I fucking love South of Midnight. I can't imagine that not being a thing. Maybe we'll look back and see, like, yeah, that was just a shot to try to grab a mid-tier stuff, and that didn't work, and it's not what we needed. It's not what the right call was. And that is a choice to go after those type of games from someone who loves games, and that might be the issue here. So yeah, I guess the business background makes sense. And I don't think I feel negative about it in her background. I don't think it matters. I think having fresh pair of eyes is actually incredibly important. People get stagnant, you get stagnant, you got to move on. Having that flexibility is good for your brain too. I mean, yeah, there's so many reasons about doing other things. So that doesn't bother me at all. It's just more the AI and the stuff behind it, and then not her thing. It's just that phrasing at the end. It's just like, okay, you said all the right stuff first to get us in, and then you slipped in, we're not going to do even an AI slop. Okay. You also say we're going to let players create their own stories. What does that mean? Is it Fallout 76 and I'm my own person going through that, creating my own story? Or is it something else, Like Disney is letting you eventually freaking create your own stuff on their app. Like that's insane, you know? Like that's what I fear. And that's what I'm reading between the lines of.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that we're now in this kind of moment in time where a lot of, benefit of the doubt is very scarce when it comes to the corporate speak in the gaming sphere. So I can understand why a lot of people are not too keen on the fact that somebody that's going to be running this company, or this division, I should say, is not in the know as far as like what the gaming world looks like, at least on this level. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because there has been times in the past for like different companies and different productions that just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that you don't have the right business sense. It kind of just goes back to what I was saying before. It all depends on how much he is willing to work with Matt Booty in like kind of navigating creative side. Because like, throwing out like my Disney nerd card, but like back in the day, like it wasn't like during the Eisner era, it wasn't all bad at the beginning, but it's because he had somebody there that was able to kind of balance out the creative side and the business side. And then once he lost that, it was where they kind of did the falling out in the late 90s. So maybe this is kind of like a similar situation where, we've seen it for a while. We've talked about it before on episodes of the show and during our fantasy draft. Like Xbox is been trying to catch up for so long, and they've had some successes, but a lot of them have been not so much misses, but they haven't met the marks of what people are expecting. And I'm not surprised they're going to be veering off into this new era where, yeah, you're going to have a more corporate looking leadership, but it's still too early to tell. Like, I am very going to be intrigued what the summer showcase is going to look like. This is going to be a lot of people's first real introduction to what this era of Xbox is going to be like. But it is strange that it's also tying into the 25th anniversary. And so I feel like a lot of people are going to need to be really, really convinced about Xbox's future, because I feel like Xbox just can't catch a break. And so like everybody was looking forward to the 25th anniversary. And it's like, okay, we're getting, Combat Evo. We're going to get like a new Halo in the like a new engine. We're going to see how that goes. We're getting the new Forza Horizon everybody's been wanting. Fable's coming out. Okay, cool. And now this happens. And that's been kind of Xbox's MO, where it's like, okay, we got something cool happening, and then news we don't really vibe with happens. And so I don't know. It's a mix of emotions.
I feel like we haven't really touched much on Sarah Bond leaving, and I think that for me is what really makes this sudden and makes it feel weird. I think if Phil retired at any point, it could have been seen as, oh, that's like, especially today, you just take out Sarah Bond, it's just Phil retiring on Monday, boom. I think that still would feel a little weird and be like, oh, what's going on? But it wouldn't be as drastic as
we expected that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh, random, but kind of makes sense. You can understand a change of leadership, especially you just got past the dev direct, a little lull period, we're transitioning, and then to kick off the next couple months and year. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like essentially they surprise Sarah Bond, you're not going to be the person, whether how much she knew that, and it just is boom, done, I'm out. It just feels weird, and we're on the outside looking in. But that's what everyone's talking about. And yeah, it adds all this weight to Xbox and this. The next time they message, like that really is all it is when maybe it's June. I doubt it. They'll probably say stuff earlier. But what is that? Is that a podcast with Booty and Asha? Is that the direction they're going to go? Keep up that way? Or will they go like everyone else and stop talking? We'll just get the update in PR. We'll get the dev directs. We'll get the showcase. And that's it. I think that's probably where we're going to end up because, man, remember many times we get, how much we talked about the shit they got? Like, for any little thing, how many times they step on their own feet. They're stepping on rakes just because they're talking. So, I don't know.
I'll be honest.
Rambled there, but
I low-key kind of hope they do just go quiet. As much as I said at the top that I appreciated their front-facing, hey, we have names to people that talk to you, I said it before, but I think that connection with some fans and vocal minorities has been more toxic than good. I kind of hope they do just become PlayStation and, hey, this is the suit behind, we'll hire people to do showcases and stuff. Like, I kind of hope they go that way. The Sarah Bod stuff, too, with her leaving, for me personally, is one of the things where I look at it and it almost gives me hope. Obviously, people expected her to take over Phil's spot, and it's so many. I feel like I'm going through a maze reading through the emails that they posted because it's, as Kyle's mentioned a few times, like they say one thing, but then immediately after say something else. For them to release all of this and their new commitments and all this stuff, if that's, they make it sound like it's something different than what they've been doing the past 2-3 years with this shift to multi-platform strategy, all that, which is what Sarah has been working under, and under those presumptions that will continue once Phil leaves. Is that something that possibly has changed on the back end again? And she was too much on the side of that becoming the new future, and that could be why she wasn't picked for the position. Like, she seemed like the perfect fit to take over. You're being trained in these ideals. You're being put in these positions to market these ideas that we're pushing forward, and now you're just not there. Why start that process over again with someone new unless it is an actual shift backwards or in a slightly curved direction, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if tariffs and the price of RAM has anything to do with that. Xbox was ramping up a premium console that was probably going to be a dual PC thing, play anywhere. You can't release that now, right? Like a new console that's going to be premium, like now is north of $1,500, right? With the RAM, and you can't plan for that. You're in third place. That's your whole strategy. I could see that, yeah, we have to recommit to what we have, our current console brand, and we're cleaning house. And because someone had, I mean, hey, we all, at the end of the day, so many layoffs, we kind of complain why execs don't get it. This might be that, right? This is just kind of, unfortunately, the Phil Spencer era ended not in the most successful way. And thousands of layoffs, right, in the Xbox thing. Whose fault is that? We'll never know. We're not in those meetings, but I don't want to be, it's weird to talk about that, but it just be, hey, time's up, we tried, you didn't move enough, the needle didn't move either. So yeah, it is time to retire like you talked about.
Brian, I see some thoughts forming in your head after what I said. Stroking the beard, brewing up a storm.
No, it's just a lot of, like, it's so weird because it feels like we've been given so much information today about this whole seat change, but there's still so much that we don't know about. And kind of like what you're saying, Kyle, it's like we're not in those meetings. We don't know exactly what this whole plan is. I am intrigued a little bit. Like, well, you're going off, Jocko, just kind of like, are they going into a different direction? Because, yeah, it is going to be a lot harder of a sell to get people to buy another new console that might be a PC hybrid if, one, it's going to ramp up the prices higher than they wanted, and two, the production cost for them is probably going to be ramped up as well, just because are they going to be able to partner up with somebody to get the hard drives that they need, or is there going to be like a solution to getting around price hike and the cost for them just to even make these new consoles? I don't know. It kind of goes off into the other conversation with Steam. It's like with the Steam box, it's like, are are those even coming out this year? Like across the board, it seems like making a new system is just a no-go. Even earlier this week when PlayStation was like, hey, we might be pushing back at our next console like to 2028 to 2029 at the earliest. So maybe they are just going to focus on, okay, what do we have? What can we do now with our install base, and how can we grow on that install base? I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year we see another major change to Game Pass. Like, even though we are just kind of like pulling down off of the big change they did at the end of the year last year. But if this is going to be the beginning of something different for Xbox, I would have to imagine Game Pass is the first way to go, because that is where they can monetize players the easiest. Even PlayStation was thinking about doing that as well. So yeah, it's just a big whirlwind of information that we have and that we don't have.
Yeah, the Game Pass of it is interesting because to me, they doubled down on that, given Microsoft and their Office suite of stuff and all that. It's all subscription. The whole world is now that. Corporations like the idea that they can probably turn off the thing when they want. And they own that, right? And that's kind of what Game Pass does. Like, I don't own Starfield, right? I never bought it. I just play it through Game Pass. There's something to that. Also, in the Greg interview with Todd Howard, he said that Starfield is a big Game Pass hour thing. That's how they do their metrics. It's all about hours, which I thought that was an interesting sidebar there for y'all. But yeah, I think they double down. I think it's more of that. Potentially we see a little price decrease to get more people on board, but it's because they're getting rid of other avenues. Potentially the Play Anywhere stuff starts to go away a little bit. I don't know how much resource and money that takes, or maybe that is the full strategy now, and we see the consoles go away. They're going to invest in the console, the one that's out.
Yeah.
We're not doing consoles. So a lot to read into, of course, but I think Game Pass, if Game Pass goes, Xbox is done. I just think they're so intrinsically tied together. I would stop subbing if you took away exclusivity, or not day one games. Like, I would go. I would not Game Pass anymore if I lost that day one thing. If it was timed, like, no, that's dumb. That's dumb. You're finding more ways to monetize and steal my money. So yeah, I don't know what they go outside of that.
This just popped into my head. What if they do the inverse, and what if there are certain studios that make games that only come out on Game Pass?
That would be interesting to have a game that does not go on Game Pass. Like what you're saying.
Like, it's not for sale. The only way to play it is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like that could be a possibility. I don't know. I don't know how much that could hinder them. Like, if they were to do smaller projects and just release them that way, kind of like how the Xbox Arcade was back in the 360 era. There were only games that were on the arcade, and in order to get onto it, you had to get like Xbox Gold to play certain games. So
yeah, I would argue though that hasn't shown to work with their other games, but I guess it isn't like a big title that's a smaller one. A big IP. It's South of Midnight and Keeper. It's like, oh, these are cool smaller things, but not widely played. So, I don't know. I really think we see away with all those little things, unfortunately. But the idea that they release only on Game Pass is interesting.
Because if they don't make any new consoles, what is the money? Where is the money going to be coming from if consoles are kind of being pushed to the wayside for a while? Like, sure, like, let's put it this way. I think whoever has bought an Xbox, whether it's a Series X or it's a Series S, I think that install base is where it's at. Sure, you could probably sell off a few more depending on how much is in the production line already. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try to push harder for Game Anywhere, because it probably wouldn't cost them a lot because it would be on whoever's device it is that is being put, like Xbox is being put onto it, that they have to front that, and so it costs less for them to do. But then again, I don't know how much of the server power that, like the cloud gaming, for example, I don't know how much that factors into like their expenses and how much they're. Go for it.
I was like, that's a great point. Is that it costs money to hold servers open, and at some point, how do they gauge like, okay, we have X amount of servers open at this time, and then you get too many users, so we need this. It varies between how do you find? You just have a room with 100 servers, and that's it, and that's more than enough, and you never cap out? Or are they pulling it? Sometimes it's used for Xbox games, sometimes it's not. If it's just a room full of Xbox Series X, essentially, and they're not all being used at once, that's still money, right? So it's very fascinating. That's the money it takes to run a cloud server like that. It's definitely like costly for them, 100%.
Caveat
now
to
it's being
that.
AI shit.
Caveat to that. May have forgotten, with the lawsuit and stuff they went through, Xbox isn't the only one running those servers. I believe it's Ubisoft is control of that in the UK and Europe, correct?
Oh.
The cloud stuff, right? They had to
give that to another company, so it wasn't a monopoly situation. So all that on their end isn't fully on their shoulders. So if they go that route and, hey, you want to do this region type thing?
That's interesting. Yeah. So many things that we just don't know. I love it.
I'm happy you guys
speculation.
I'm happy you guys are talking about consoles, because the second commitment in Asha's email, the return of Xbox, which I'll be honest, before I read this, I'm so happy I'm on the positive side of things, because I have slight hope in my gut. I'm like the Grinch. Heart's growing a little bit. I got hope. Return of Xbox.
It's so funny. I'm negative.
Right? We will recommit
the marketing's
to our
got
core
you.
Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. Connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox, and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. That statement, when I first read it, I was like, this is confusing as shit. Because why are you going to say this when it, again, goes against what they've been doing the past couple years? To me, there is a slight shimmer of hope. Not hope, but do we see the return of them doubling down, going all in? You're recommitting to what Xbox was. Are you going all in? Hey, we have these studios, exclusives across the board. We have Activision. Screw you, exclusive. Did they go that deep into it because they want that market back? Is an interesting idea. Do I think it's going to happen? Very minimal chance. But for you to come out and say you want to recapture what Xbox was, you want to celebrate with renewed commitment to Xbox and what it was, with that core leg of it gone, that exclusive, you can only get this on Xbox. Without that pillar gone, what replaces it to be able to rebuild that commitment? And it goes back to what I said earlier, when is it because they're changing idea? And Satya's like, shit, we're gonna have Phil and Sarah be a fall guy for this as we regrew back to old ideals.
Yeah, on the first half, I thought you were going with them just being like, hey, it worked for PlayStation. Original Xbox.
The actual X.
Release the actual X.
I'll be
Bringing
there.
It back.
My credit card's ready.
We're going to load that thing up with all your favorites. Halo, Halo 2.
Remember that AI thing that was making games? That remade a level, right?
They remade Bleeding Edge, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing.
Oh.
Gonna be that AI expert, yeah. Funny.
No, but I mean, realistically, do you guys see a future where that is we're changing course again, which I don't think would land, but do they go what people expected them to do when the deal went through initially with Activision. Do they go back and be, hey, we want this share back, we want to be a part of this again? Is there a world?
I mean, at this point, for Xbox, anything is possible. Because I think out of all of the major gaming companies, Xbox has always been the one that feels like it's been so easy for them just to fishtail and just kind of do everything and try to see what works. And a lot of times it kind of misses, and sometimes it doesn't. Like Nintendo is on their island and everything is hunky dory. Like every Animal Crossing music is playing, Mario is hitting those coin blocks and everything is great. PlayStation, they have their good eras, they have their bad eras, but for the most part, people go to them. Xbox is Xbox. And what does that mean? What year is it? Take a guess. I'm kind of on the fence. Like I think I am in the in between both of you, where like I can see how this can go wrong, but I can also see the optimism in what she is saying. Sharma being like, hey, we are going to try to like do what Xbox used to do. And we're going to try to do it bigger and better than ever. That's cool. But how many years now have Xbox has made that commitment, and we've only seen a fraction of that. Not saying that she can't do it in her tenure as CEO, but I think for a lot of people, we need to see the work happen. Like I think a lot of fans, a lot of Xbox fans are kind of tired of hearing it. We want to see it. And I know we're not going to be seeing that for a while, so it's kind of, I don't want to put both feet down and being like, hey, I want results now, but like I'm the CEO of the company. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a big hill to climb.
Yeah, reading over this section too that we're talking about, a lot of nothing. It's just what they're doing. So until they say more, we just don't know where they're gonna take quote Xbox. It's saying we're gonna your business. Of course, you're committed to it. You're gonna recommit. You weren't. So it just I don't know. Where do you think we get another console? If let's say we are getting at least one more.
I'm glad you asked, because an hour ago, roughly, Sarah Bond posted her letter to her team she sent out. In the opening paragraph,
I'm
incredibly proud of what we've built together over the past 8 years plus. PC and
taking the prototype home with me.
PC and cloud gaming are growing faster than ever. Our next console is well underway, so still there. And together, we've helped lay the foundation for a more open gaming platform that spans devices and reaches players around the world. Typical going through the lawsuit and Activision Blizzard acquisition. She also says towards the end that she too is remaining on as a special advisor to Osha to help ensure a smooth transition. So I don't see that. I wouldn't have expected that if she was forcefully removed. Like, it seems like this was planned. Phil, I predicted at the beginning of last year Phil would be gone. It feels like it was just bumped up. It feels like their plans of getting him out, replacing is a little faster than what they planned, which is why this is happening all so fast. But yeah, she and her thing to the team that she was open to put on socials. New console hardware is well underway, which I've seen some people, I think we've kind of alluded to it here too, with this shakeup. Is that new hardware going to exist? I'm curious in what form it is. I already mentioned the premium side of it. Is that still a thing? Is it still teaming up with Steam? Was that already a partnership that was done in ink? Is it a more traditional console?
Yeah, it's interesting. PC cloud gaming are growing faster than ever. Our next console is well underway. It could also just be like, hey, I'm leaving. I gotta let people know what I've worked on because it's not going to be on the resume because you're going to cancel this shit. I was heading up a new console. You could do it that way too. She's like, yeah, we are. Sorry, deuces. I just confirmed you have another console. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna take it negative just for conversation, or not take it negative, but
Devil's advocate.
read it that way. But that's really interesting. They've said it for years. Of course, they're working on another console. But yeah, I just wonder if it's, hey, we're not, with everything going on, we're not going to be able to get this out in the way we want. We got to hold back. We have to retool. We have to figure out what to do with our current platform. And you have someone who's done that before with Asha, as we've gone over her history. So I've come around on her. It kind of makes sense. Sarah posting makes me feel like, yeah, and staying on, yeah, it makes me feel like this was planned. Things, of course, in the world are more dire. So it moves the plans, and they're trying to get ahead of something potentially. But yeah, they still got a lot of work to do, because this is all, it just feels like something happened and they're like, all right, go, we're doing this today.
Maybe this is just my thought. Maybe because they do have to push away like the timeline for another console. Like let's say if that high-end console was maybe going to be announced in the summer and then dropped either in the fall or maybe early next year. Maybe
that's
that
what
was
I think
the
when they wanted.
Maybe that was the timeline for Phil and Sarah, and then they go, okay, that drops. See you later. Good luck. And so now that maybe that timeline's been pushed down, maybe like, well, we don't want to stay here for that much longer. Let's just hop into the next generation and those like next generation of leadership and just go. And then like it's really cool that, because I thought Sarah was just gonna be gone and be like, okay, my time's done, I am leaving. But it's actually kind of cool that she is also staying, but in like a mentor-y kind of position, at least until the summertime. But kind of like what you were kind of leading up to, it's like something did happen with their plan and is definitely changing. How much is that changing? We don't know. But hopefully that means that they're ready to kind of get into this mode and just go. Because I would hate for them to have this big announcement, make this public, and then Xbox rests on their laurels for the next 6 to 8 months, and we don't see anything really new and different. Because I know they have a timeline for their 25th anniversary with the games coming out this year. That's stuff we already know. Are we seeing anything we don't know this year is my question.
Yeah, I bet we don't see or hear anything until after March. I can see them just taking time or getting maybe a podcast episode with interviewing one or both Booty and Shormer. But yeah, I honestly could see like that console being pushed to a point where it's like beyond 2028, potentially 2030. Let's just wait. That seems insane, but when is this AI bubble going to pop? The next month or two? Once that does, is it going to immediately mean money and resources are back into these things to be able to know, hey, we are going to be able to ship consoles out in a year, 2 years? No. And that's if the bubble pops soon. So yeah, I think this is just a look, money's not in gaming, so everything has to like shrink just a little bit. And oof, this is rough. The post-COVID bubble and that post-gaming investment thing is all popped and gone. And it's just crazy. But yeah, it would not surprise me to see new consoles until 2030. It would buy like, I don't think it's going to get better. So they might say 27, 28, 29. And then all of a sudden it's like, shit, it's 2030. And we're now getting the next fix in series, because both PlayStation and Xbox are kind of built with cloud in mind. So at some point, if the issue is hardware, games are just going to start opting to stream stuff in, or, get fancy and get creative and not push, not try to push hardware, instead push the hardware, right? Instead of saying we need bigger hardware, we're going to now, what we have, what can we do with it? And I think that's really exciting. That's what they hint at in Asha's thing about reinventing play and whatnot. But yeah, when do you guys think consoles now, specifically in Xbox, potentially could come? I agree with Brian. I thought they would announce something this summer. In the best case, you announce it this summer. It's out sometime next year. to coincide with 25th.
See, I'm on the side where I don't think we really need a new generation of consoles yet. Because I forgot who there. I forgot there's a developer from a studio. I can't remember off the top of my head. This was like an article from earlier in like the past few weeks or so, that it's like, hey, we haven't even cracked what these consoles can do yet. Like, I think it was like specifically for like the PlayStation 5. It's like we haven't even scratched the surface of like how far we can like maximize the use of this system. That's why I was seeing all these reports being like, oh, you know, we're already playing our next console for in like the next 2 years or so. It's like, I don't think we need them necessarily just yet, because like we haven't even tapped out what these can do. Like, shoot, when the PS3 was on its way out, like we were still getting stuff like The Last of Us, and that was like the true maximum of what that console could do. Like, I honestly think even the last generation of consoles, we didn't really touch the maximum of what those things could do. But at the same time, that was kind of a generation where it felt like everything was being developed on like the cloud side, as we were saying. Like, that was when cloud was really starting to be introduced and being tested out. And then now with consoles we have now, do we really need like anything other than a luxury upgrade at this point?
And I think a game like Crimson Desert might show no, we don't, because everything I've seen about that game, they're building it from the ground up, only including things in the code and this engine that they need. They're stripping everything away. And dude, if that game does what it's saying it can do, the thing's massive, and it's on a current, Xbox and PlayStation. That's crazy. Obviously, it's not out yet. It's all speculation. But if it does that, yeah, people just need to be more creative and more innovative with their game design to get fancier and more flashy stuff on screen, to make it run better, to make it look cooler, to have more crazy things happen. It can 100% run on this tech. I agree. We're not done tech-wise with these consoles, especially when you add cloud stuff, streaming and assets for you. Like, games do that. So I could see everyone just even with what you got. I do wonder if the premium thing is an Xbox Pro, get it up to speed with like running a DLSS type thing, but again, with all the parts being so expensive and having issues getting supply, like I just, can't imagine they still stick with that, which is a bummer, because I think they would have loved to have, if the series can't really take advantage of a DLSS type of tech, you'd imagine they would want to. The Switch is crazy. Cyberpunk running on the Switch is insane, and having that tech built into it is crucial. So I think Xbox was rumored to be doing that, but outside of a Pro Edition, yeah, we're good.
I agree we can wait. For me, best case scenario, and I'm taking in the real world shit, obviously. Even today, Supreme Court ruled against tariffs, like unconstitutional. Whole other battle. I saw one report that Microsoft may be one of the companies that gets a pass on tariffs to help build that infrastructures in the States and that kind of thing, which could help accelerate that and keep them safe, unlike Sony. I agree, though, that it's not needed now. Best case scenario for me, though, I would still want them to announce it next year, release 28. If Sony is shooting for 29, they'll get out a year before, like you did with 360, especially if it's still keeping those Steam aspects and PC aspects. You have a full year then to push that like hell. Hey, PC crowd, you want a cheaper option to have this in a side room or living room or an extra bedroom, or hey, Xbox people that used to be here, your library is still here. Oh, you went to PC in between, you could play all that here. Oh, you went to PlayStation in between, your Steam games, PlayStation Steam games are there. Like, I see an avenue where they could be very aggressive if that's the path they go down. That again, I alluded to with if they're recommitting hard to what Xbox as a brand is, get out a year ahead, get out 2028, push that message and agenda like crazy to do all you can for the image of what Xbox is. 2028 Call of Duty? shit, sorry, it's only on Xbox this year because it's a next gen game. Go deep with it. Like,
Dang.
go
Just
go brutal
Oh
again.
my god, Jocko, that's crazy.
I'm
The
in,
next
my
Call of
guy.
Duty only played on the next gen console. The next gen consoles, and then they scratch out the S console. 'Cause
Done.
They don't have two SKUs; they only have one SKU, and
I'm
it's
just
a slight.
the last line of Ash's email. It will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes, protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. I'm just saying, I'm so happy to be on the positive side of things. I'm positive Andy right now, Kyle. I like feeling
It's
how
crazy.
you
We flipped.
I like feeling how you feel all the time. This is good. There is
Shut up.
when it bites me in the ass in 2 years and everything's falling apart and Double Fine's gone, I'll cry. But right now, like, there's like a fire burning, man. I have hope.
I got a fire burning now. Yeah, that's hot. A warm going down. Damn.
Oh, it
I don't
it
like
would be
feeling this
wild
way.
to
I'm
think.
sad. I'm having this was supposed to be celebratory bourbon. Now it's sad bourbon. I was supposed to cheers Phil Spencer. Thanks. Yeah. Go for it, please.
No, I was just
Throat's
gonna say
burning.
it would be wild if Microsoft could get like on the game that quickly to the point where nobody was expecting a console to come out and they're the only ones to be like, nah, we're leading this generation into the new era kind of thing. And all the release windows for all the big companies' consoles are just sprawled out. Like no longer is Nintendo the odd one out. Everybody has their own timelines now. And it's just all chaos.
Which it should be. Because we're pretty much there. Yeah, it's just what that price is, and yeah, the shift if you got rid of the people that were making the console before the console's announced. So to me that means you changed some plans. So we'll see what that is, man. We'll see.
I think that pretty much covers everything from Ash's email and guessing about what the future looks like. Again, do want to shout out because it's a controversial figure in recent years. Phil Spencer, for his time, 38 years total at Xbox. Again, took over 2014. Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, Mojang, Playground, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, like multiple studios brought under the Xbox banner under him. Initiated the shift for Game Pass and the subscription model. What, 12 years ago now? 10 years ago almost? It's been the Game Pass has been around that he brought in. Player first initiatives, backwards compatibility, leaded the charge on that with 360 games and even original Xbox games. Shifted consoles with what we're kind of talking about with the premium models. You have a Series X, you have a Series S. We have options, have different price points, have different tiers for people to get on board with. Just a lot to celebrate and still appreciate what he's done while his time at the company. That, again, taking a hit recently, but I'm going to miss seeing Phil on my screen every year. It was always a joy. Little t-shirts at E3, teas and stuff later in the show, like, he knew what he was doing. The shelf in the background, well, I've had an Xbox model in the background a whole year that no one's noticed. Like, man was cooking.
Yeah, Phil Spencer was the only, like, I got into gaming around the Xbox One. I had a 360, but I remember watching the first E3 I remember is the 2014 one, post all that stuff. Because I wanted to see the new console, the Halo. I'm looking at the list. They had Sunset Overdrive that year. Witcher 3 was in it. Crazy. Tom Clancy's The Division. What a time, right?
Halo 5 Guardians.
But that's like, that's where I got into gaming. I started, that's the first E3 I watched. And then next summer I worked a job and we got out from training and I was able to catch up and watch it on my phone. And every summer I started watching it. So it's crazy to realize as we're doing this, like, whoa, when I got super into gaming and started following news, it was with Phil Spencer and I was always an Xbox person. So he was always the guy for me, right? He was always the head of Xbox to me. So yeah, it's just, it'll be crazy to see what's new. He was always the voice, the face. And I think he did a great job in that at times. And of course, behind the scenes, you never know. We can no business is perfect and I can take shots at it, but I'm not in the meeting. I don't know what has to be done. I'm grateful I don't have to make those decisions because that sucks. No one should ever have to make a decision that, affects hundreds of thousands of people potentially. That's just not a human thing. But I digress. The outward perception of Phil was really good. And I think it was a positive thing to have someone championing gaming and saying, oh, I go home and play games, and you see him online. Like, that's, he lived and breathed it, right? Whether that's good or bad, we'll see. And that's for the historians to decide. But yeah, it is a sad thing to see someone who was a staple of my gaming history is retiring and gone, and especially a brand I love. So here's to you, Phil. I don't think I could do a third shot. I think that is not smart.
Yeah.
It is 6
It'll
o'clock.
become a completely different podcast if you do.
No, I'm not that. I'm a heavyweight. I'll be honest. I think a third one will make me feel buzzed, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not pounding these like this aimlessly. I know who I am.
It's kind of strange to think that like Phil Spencer is like the last of like the big gaming companies like having a personality leader.
Yeah.
Like kind of, I think it was Jocko who mentioned before, it's like we had like the Reggies, we had the Iwatas, we had oh god, I forget his name, but the PlayStation guy.
Shuhei, Sean Layden, Jim Ryan.
And Ryan. So this is like really like the last of a of this being like this like guy that you could just walk up to and being like, oh man, did you play this game? Oh my god, this is so cool, kind of thing. So it is very nice that we were able to have him in this position for so long. So it is kind of a weird feeling just to kind of be like, oh, we're kind of losing this kind of, but maybe in time, maybe that's kind of this is weird, but for right now is kind of like, man, we had some pretty cool times like watching like the presentations and being entertained in a weird way.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be as into gaming without Game Pass. That made it economical for a very long time for me, and now it's kind of easier to do and justify. But like, hey, hell yeah, man, that has to go for other people that they were introduced to a breadth of other games because of this service. And it's not all him, it's not all Phil, but he was that guy driving it in the face. So
champion.
It's another aspect of his tenure that we'll see financially if it worked. But at the time it was around, that was a great time for me. I loved it. Still love it.
I mean, it was thanks to him that I can still grab some of my 360 games and plug them in. They still work.
Oh yeah, all that cloud, that infrastructure that's just been there that could have easily been dipped away, but yeah, they still invest in that.
I still got a SX3 installed on my Xbox, my original Xbox.
Oh wow!
It's still ready to go. I'm like, I still hop on that every now and then.
Nice.
Which, like, it's a dumb thing. Like, oh, I could play old games because you used to be able to do that, but times have changed. But they still found a way to make that work for players. And that E3 announcement when that happened was insane. Like, I remember that crowd reaction. Kyle, I'm a sucker for E3. I rewatched them. Brian, leading up to every June showcase, I go back like 05 all the way up and rewatch all the showcases. Like, I'm a crazy person. I love that hype and being in the moment. And there's just so many things Xbox centric that like he knew how to get the crowd worked up, whether it was like hinting at things before or leading a charge on some big thing. Like those were jaw-dropping moments that he was there.
And that's the thing, because like you could feel the enthusiasm from him. That's what made Xbox fans like so kind of in like. Whenever Phil Spencer came on, it's like you felt like something big was about to happen. And it's like Phil comes on, he's going to try to deliver something. And that's always been the kind of the feeling throughout the years. And like I think everybody has that moment in time where it's just like Phil Spencer like made this big reveal, whether it be backwards compatibility, whether it be cloud gaming, like Game Pass, or even I popped off when like he made that first announcement that they were actually working with Japanese studios. It's like Xbox is actually trying to work with Japan. Like, what world are we living in? Kind of moments. So we kind of, I guess, just kind of have to be thankful that we were able to say, like, I remember when that happened.
Been good.
Yeah.
It's been a wild day. Been crazy news day. Again, every time I open Twitter, it's someone new from the industry giving love to Phil, giving shout outs to the new team. Which again, positivity rolling in, Kyle. Jason Ronald, Aaron Greenberg, they've all been retweeting Asha's thing and saying how they're excited about the renegade spirit from the earliest days coming back. There is hope, guy. It's gonna be a wild couple years with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you say to someone who, oh shit, we have to switch strategies. Fuck. Like, oh man, that person, I gotta send her some love because she's gonna be up against it.
Yeah,
Read it both
welcome,
ways, my friend.
welcome. I followed her on Twitch. She posted immediately about it. She made her account like 8 years ago or some shit. This was her first tweet.
Like, oh,
it was
wait,
like the
new news?
email. No, it was her like first tweet ever on her account was the news of this. I'm like, oh, you are in for a whirlwind on
He's
Twitter.
a plant.
Yeah.
Plant, industry plant. No, I'm not that negative on it at all. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, I think as the suddenness makes it negative, the dualness of it makes it negative. As we have read and talked about more stuff, it's become a little more positive, and that's probably going to happen. But we've said it before, and I'll keep saying it now. Microsoft has lost that benefit of the doubt with their gaming division, so you got to prove it. I'm still incredibly hyped for the games, but I am now worried about the platform long term. So we'll see.
Not that has to be a full topic because we kind of talked about it already. Paul Tassi tweeted out and mentioned in all 4 Xbox statements from the team that were released today, the only explicit mention of Game Pass is from Phil Spencer in his bond paragraph. Take that at what you will. If it is, maybe that's not a major factor for them moving forward. Maybe that's the change. Who knows? But interesting thing to think about. Yeah.
Interesting. I just don't know why you would get rid of that. I see you scaling it back so it's not $30 and The Witcher 3 and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like, I love that that's a thing. That's awesome that people get to go play both of those RPGs potentially for the first time in Game Pass. That's crazy. But I don't need it to be $10 more because you added Fortnite Pass, so we'll see. We'll see. That's
Any closing thoughts or statements from either of you about the news that we have not covered because we're entering the territory of just circling back around, but a lot to take in, a lot to break down and discuss, and a lot of, again, unknown questions, unknown answers we do not have right now, and only time will tell if this is good or bad, and I'm staying positive again. I don't personally, I don't see this affecting studios imminently. The Double Fines, the Rares, the Compulsions, I don't see them taking a hit on this. With a new set of eyes, again, I think it's how better can we use you? How better can we use your resources to rapidly get games out? If it is a Game Pass thing, if it is a Game Pass fodder title, if it's a big AAA thing, like I just think it's gonna be a restructuring of what teams are working on. At the worst case scenario, I think it could be, hey, you're working on this now. You're doing this. You don't have that freedom, but I don't imminently see studios being affected personally. So still keeping hopes up. Excited to see the future. And I want you to be here now.
Oh yeah.
100%.
For different reasons. Now, I wanted to see the games. Now I need to know what you're doing.
Okay.
I've said what I think.
Yeah. Brian, any closing last remarks, statements, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
I'm a little, I will say, optimistic. I'm very interested in seeing what happens next. I know we're not going to probably get it for a while, but because I think everybody agrees, like, we want to see this succeed. So it's not, at least in our best interest, to just, hope for the worst. But it's like, I want to see Xbox do good, or at least get to a point where they can be profitable, but then also come out with some very creative projects that people will gravitate to. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I did. It feels like Microsoft not caring too much about gaming, and I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, but I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope that Microsoft cares about Xbox still.
Damn, June showcase, PlayStation version of Forza Horizon 6 canceled. Exclusive, baby. Brian, thank you again for joining us. Such short notice with everything going on. You literally.
Thank you for having me on, because I knew, like, once this dropped, and I was like, I cannot not talk about this, and I somehow was like wiggle my way in. So I appreciate you guys putting this in space for me. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, of course, always welcome. That's why we have our channels open to all the previous guests to join us whenever. Shameless self-promotion while you're here. You're doing Gundam trading card stuff. What else is going on over at United? I didn't know there was a Gundam trading card game.
It is young, and it's so popular that you can't get them off the shelves, and that's not because of the players, it's because of Bandai. That's a whole another story.
Nice.
We are actually, this coming Tuesday, we are going to be doing I believe will be our last big Spider-Man Magic the Gathering unboxing stream. Joel and our buddy Fernando bought one last box. They're trying one more time to get that Soul Stone, and so we're gonna see if that happens. Also, we have some things coming in the pipeline. So if anybody is curious, you can follow us everywhere on United We Nerd on YouTube, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky. We will be there. And we hope that you love nerding out as much as we do.
Love it. Good to hear. Kyle, what's going on in your neck of the woods with your Final Fantasy VII background?
Yeah, me and my wife have been playing that nightly-ish, give or take. Really enjoying it. Getting like an hour or two in. It's each session. So what a wild world. Can't wait. It's so good. Excited to hear the updates for the third one. Got an email from Square Enix about a playtest. That's all I'm going to say. Fascinating.
Hey.
Is that too much to drink?
Yeah. No, I didn't even say anything. I just said thanks. Thanks for filling it out. All I said is thanks for filling it out.
Okay.
And I got an email. They say you can. Then nowhere says I can't tell you I got an email. What is this? I didn't say anything. But yeah, also started Skyrim intentionally. I am doing it. So that's that. About 4 hours in, I'm going to see credits on this game. I love Fallout. I love Starfield. I got to see if I can get into Skyrim, but I'm going to roll credits and make a decision. So, but yeah, and then Marathon next weekend, Thursday, 28th, it starts. I think it's the 28th, the Thursday, 26th, it starts. And we're in, man. So any of you want to play with me, but server test, it's free weekend, that one. And then I'm just ready for Marathon. I'm ready for it.
Perfect.
That's what I'm
gonna
going
have to hop onto that server test, baby.
Yeah, 26th to the 2nd. To try out the game. Runs in, and it comes out the 5th. So stoked. I'm missing some multiplayer stuff like that. I'm missing that.
Overwatch is right there. It's calling you.
No, it's not the same. I'm playing it, but it's not the same. I played. I'm like, man, I want Marathon. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for a brand new Bungie first-person shooter. Has way too much weight on it again, and is gonna essentially either save or kill the studio, because Destiny's canceled till June. Everything's a mess at Bungie. I'm hoping this is big braining and we know what we got. We'll see. Too much is riding on this. But I'm going to support it.
Gonna support it. He'll be there day one. It'll be our next failed game we all hop on.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. Hey, there's too many of those that we've played.
Yeah,
There's too many.
Bad luck. My end of things.
Highguard is still going. I love that what they're doing. a brief update, brief talk. That's
That's
cool
sure.
that they're not done. Keep it going. I might hop back in eventually.
High guard, stand strong.
I still got time to get my
All
achievements.
All 1,000 of us.
Ew. Yeah, my side of things, we're still doing the WoW streaming, hopping on, getting ready for midnight. We're a week away, week and a half away. I can't wait. It's been fun. A lot of people on our Discord have a separate channel. There's like 20 of them who all got back into WoW, and all of them are doing classic except one who has never played before is sticking with retail. So I've been like playing with him, showing him the ropes, like it's a brand new experience now. But streaming that, playing the Overwatch. We will be back next week, hopefully for our regular scheduled time for the first time this entire month, for our monthly catch-up episode of what we've been playing, since that is now all contained in one singular episode. So next Saturday, February 28th, if I could pull Kyle away from the Marathon Open test, we will just do the show during it. I don't know. We will be catching up on everything we've been playing in February. Right here at twitch.tv/downloadq. Follow us on all the socials. I have a convenient link tree now set up on all those to find us in all the places. So go ahead and find that. Until next time, happy gaming. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Buckeye still. And we'll catch you next week.